Pop-up headlights, nothing says retro cool like those iconic flip-up beams. From Italian supercars in the 60s to everyday icons in the 80s and 90s, these lights made even simple coupes look futuristic. And the best part? Getting into the pop-up game today is surprisingly affordable. With a budget around $20,000, there are still some amazing coupes out there worth every penny. So today, we're breaking down 5 affordable pop-up headlight coupes that are still worth buying right now. Let's get into it. Toyota MR2 Turbo. Toyota MR2 Turbo price is $19,416. Toyota's second-generation MR2 is a coupe that pretends to be a mini supercar. Never more so in the W20 Turbo variant, which was sold between 1991 and 1996. The MR2 Turbo comes with Toyota's 2.0-liter 3S GTE and has a stonking 200 horsepower, more than enough for a small mid-engine car of the 90s. This is mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. You can choose between a semi-convertible with removable roof panels or a fixed-roof coupe. Amazingly, there are still quite a few unmodified cars around, and prices in general for the MR2 Turbo are still just about affordable. The only year that comes in within our budget is 1991, which has an average price of $19,416. Pontiac Firebird price is $8,450. When you browse through car forums, you'll often see one phrase pop up again and again. The 4th generation Firebird is underrated. And honestly, it's hard to disagree. Sure, the base 6-cylinder models were nothing to write home about, but that's always been the case in the muscle car world. The real magic came with the Formula and Trans Am trims, both packing the legendary 5.7-liter LT1 V8, the same heart that powered the Corvette of its time. So, why doesn't the 90s Firebird get the love it deserves? Well, styling plays a big part. The 80s 3rd-gen car has developed a kind of retro cool charm with its sharp, wedgy lines. But the 4th gen? It's often criticized for that smooth, almost soap bar look, a design that hasn't aged quite as gracefully. But here's the kicker. These cars are still an absolute bargain. Take the 1995 Firebird, for example. You can find clean models selling for as little as $8,450. For that price, you're getting a true V8-powered American muscle car that delivers plenty of performance, attitude, and 90s nostalgia without breaking the bank. So, is the 4th-gen Firebird underrated? Maybe, but one thing's for sure. It's one of the best values in the muscle car market today. Honda Prelude. Honda Prelude price is $18,250. There is plenty of buzz around the Honda Prelude right now, with a new model arriving for 2026. The Prelude is Honda's take on a grown-up coupe, but arguably the most distinctive is the 3rd generation, which ran from the 1987 to 1988 model year. With its pop-up headlights and updated space-age styling, it oozes Japanese quirkiness and confidence at a time when the country's car makers seem to be bringing out a new model every day. There were 4 engines to choose from, and the Prelude was designed to be sporty and easy to live with. The Prelude was also one of the few models available at the time with 4-wheel steering, 4WS. Cars from 1988 have an average price of $18,250, but it is possible to find a nice basic version for just over the $10,000 mark. Nissan 300ZX. Nissan 300ZX price is $11,550. By the time the 1980s rolled around, Nissan's legendary Z cars had grown up. Gone were the lightweight, dainty coupe looks of the originals. Instead, the Z had evolved into something broader, bolder, and more refined. In 1984, the Z31 300ZX made its debut, replacing the aging 280ZX, and for the first time, Nissan dropped the inline-6 in favor of a 3.0-liter B6, marking a big shift in the Z's identity. The 300ZX wasn't just about power, it was about comfort too. This was a car built to feel solid, reliable, and surprisingly luxurious for the era, while still delivering effortless performance on the open road. And then there's the design. The Z31's pop-up headlights had a quirky twist. They didn't fully disappear, but instead only semi-retracted into that long, curvy hood. It gave the car a distinctive face that stood out in a sea of 80s coupes. But here's the real kicker: the price. Today, you can pick up a 1984 300ZX for an average of just $11,550. For a piece of Japanese sports car history, with classic styling and a smooth V6 under the hood, that's a steal. So, is the 300ZX the bargain of the Porsche world? Absolutely. You just need to know which one to buy. Toyota Celica. Toyota Celica price is $8,500. There's something about Celicas that never quite makes sense. These Toyota coupes have it all: great looks, everyday usability, solid handling, and of course, legendary reliability. But often they remain easily affordable classic. Let's perhaps put it down to the fact that they are both popular and hard to kill, meaning that there are plenty to still go around. The 5th Gen Celica was introduced for the 1990 model year, with GT and GTS variants getting a new 2.2-liter 4.5 SFE. It could be argued that these are one of the best-looking coupes of the era, with the pop-up lights neatly integrated into the thin black grille at the front. The 1991 models cost an average $8,500 according to Classic.com, and there's even a drop-top version too, which often goes for even less. If you want to stretch the budget, you can even get a 1990 Toyota Celica Turbo All-Track, which has all the rally-bred credentials to make it a true JDM legend. These cars have a 2.0-liter turbocharged inline-4 motor codenamed 3S GTE, which pumps out 200 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. These cars have an average price of $27,000.